Good morning, fathers of daughters. This is Ephraim B. Martin, and welcome to another live stream here in the beautiful state of Colorado. Bienvenidos. Aquí, mi amigos, gracias. I welcome you all. Thank you. All fathers are welcome, regardless of your ethnic group, background, and or culture. Okay, fathers, hope you're doing well today. And we're back for another live stream at Girl Dad YouTube channel. I welcome you to subscribe, like, and share my live streams. Feel free to comment, fathers. Looking forward to hearing from you today. This is a big one for me. This is live stream number 50. Very proud of that. I've been live streaming since July of 2023. So today is number 50. Feeling great about it, fathers, as I continue to grow organically and getting things done. Got a few interviews coming up over the next couple months, and hopefully I'm going to do a lot more on some other platforms, do some collaboration. So looking forward to that, fathers. I've been busy. Okay. Today's live stream, fathers, we are going to be discussing Fathers of Daughters, Our Daughters Self-esteem, Part 2. Earlier, when I first started live streaming in July of 2023, I made a video speaking about our daughters' self-esteem, fathers, and felt good about that video. It was about 21 minutes long. Well, I want to do a follow-up with it today, Part 2. Now, fathers, when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem, where does their self-esteem come from? Well, it comes from both their father and their mother. And we play a very pivotal and very big part in helping develop our daughter's self-esteem, fathers. So we are definitely going to be needing to pay attention and being a part of the success of our daughter's self-esteem. Little girls go through quite a bit in their primary grades, middle school, and high school when it comes to their self-esteem. And fathers, mothers and fathers are going to have different observations and different ways of helping shape our baby girls' self-esteem. For fathers are rarely critical of their daughters. Their weight, the way they eat, the way they look. They're going to get most of their critical observation from women, their mothers, not their fathers, their mothers. Women are very, very critical of each other that way. Women say a lot of things that could be damaging to their daughters, that could hurt their daughters. And what ends up happening is mothers and daughters at some point in the relationship, birth to 18, most of them battle. And what I mean by that, there is going to be a situation with mothers and daughters where the daughters talk back to their mothers more and may find themselves being disrespectful to their mothers and fathers. What I would tell you is this: don't get caught up in that. Of course, we never allow our daughters to disrespect their mothers. But what happens with women, because they're so competitive, it's a DNA thing. It happens. It happened with all my daughters and their mother. So that is going to happen. They are going to battle. And the best thing that we could do as fathers is be neutral. Because trust me, when the mothers and daughters are battling, the daughters are going to come to you for assistance. Okay, so it's a situation when we're talking about their self-esteem. We have to make sure as fathers of daughters that we validate our daughters on a daily basis and that we are showing them love. We're showing them how to love themselves on the inside, not the outside. Physical beauty is okay. Internal beauty is sustainable, though. I want to repeat that. Physical beauty is okay, but internal beauty is sustainable. And how do we do that, fathers? We show our daughters by showing them how we love them unconditionally, holding their hands, kissing on them, telling them how beautiful they are every day, telling them that we love them, showing them that we love them. That's how we sustain their self-esteem, fathers. That's how we become successful when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem. Because our daughters are going to be facing the world, and we know the world's not kind, or will be kind to our daughters, fathers. Okay? So we have a pretty big task on our hands, birth to 18, when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem, fathers. And I'm leaning on you, fathers, and I'm going to be depending on your fathers to do your part. Because whether we're married or divorced or a single parent, women will try to have us feel in a certain way when it comes to our daughter's self-esteem. A lot of times it's not directly told to us, but we know what's going on. If you're observant and you have a good relationship with your baby girl or your baby girls, I have 4 adult daughters, 36, 30, 26, and 24. So I was instrumental in helping shape their self-esteem. And it was a very interesting process because most fathers don't know how. And that's okay, dads. We're learning as we go. But the one thing I can promise you, as long as you're attentive with your daughters, they're going to be okay. You have to be attentive, and it has to be intentional. They have to feel love. They have to feel it, fathers. And we bring that component, okay? So, fathers, I've got some great videos that I want to share with you today. I believe that my book, Daddy's Girls, I have the blueprint for helping fathers understand our sense of urgency to build long-term, sustainable relationships with our baby girl. I believe that I've got the blueprint. I've written a book called Daddy's Girls. It's available at Amazon.com. You can purchase it directly. So, fathers, I invite you to be a part of this live stream. I invite you to be open-minded. I invite you to process the videos that we're going to be sharing with you today, because Grow Dad YouTube channel is all about education, information through instruction. We're visual human beings, Father. And I just believe with today's YouTube, there's not a tutorial that's out there or a how-to that can't be found. If it can't be found on YouTube, chances are you're not going to find it, fathers. So with that being said, the very first video I'm going to share with you is the actual video of Our Daughters Self-esteem that I live streamed last July. I want to share it. It's about 21 minutes long. And the reason I want to share it is because it's going to introduce you to where I was coming from, what my perspective was. And I don't believe in reinventing the wheel, fathers of daughters. It's easier through visual aids. We can learn a lot by using visualization, videos, how to. There's a lot of good things that can come out of that because we're in the presence of our own home, in our own space, whether we're on our tablets, our computers, or our cell phones. Technology rules. So I'm going to use technology to my advantage. I'm on the front end of technology. I'm learning a lot about YouTube. I've gotten great at live streaming. My lighting, my webcam, and I'm just totally comfortable in front of the camera. So I don't have an issue having a discussion. And I'm looking forward, like I said, in the next couple of months of going on other live streams on other platforms and being the guest. I'm looking forward to that just to see what it looks like, how it feels, and continue to grind and grow organically. Okay, fathers, let's take a look at Fathers of Daughters, Our Daughters Self-esteem, which was recorded, live streamed in July of 2023 by Ephraim B. Martin, myself. Okay, fathers, here we go.
Good morning. Good morning. This is FRB Martin. I am 58 years of age, and I am a girl dad. Welcome to the beautiful state of Colorado. It is Sunday, October the 23rd, and it's going to be another beautiful day here in Colorado. I want to welcome you dads to another live stream, and thank you for tuning in and being a part of Girl Dad YouTube channel. Got to excuse me, I was a little bit under the weather this week, so I'm a little stuffy. I have the flu, but I'm not going to miss this live stream. So let's get it going, fathers. Fathers, what I would like to speak with you about today, discuss with you today, is Girl Dads, Our Daughters Self-esteem. Girl Dads, when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem, we are going to play a very, very big part in that, in their self-esteem. Now, when you think about our daughters, most people would think that the daughter's self-esteem comes from their mother. And that's partially true, but it also comes from their fathers. Okay? So our daughters are definitely going to need their fathers to be a part of their self-esteem building and help them build capacity for their self-esteem. Fathers, what do I mean about building capacity? Well, let's take a look at our daughters when they're little girls. When they're little girls, under 10 years of age, our daughters are going to need constant validation from us as their fathers. Their self-esteem, they're definitely going to be watching their mothers and how their mothers move. And that's very, very important, fathers. We need to make sure when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem that their mothers and us, we're on the same page. Because if we're not on the same page, fathers, there could be some serious repercussions with their self-esteem for not being on the same page with their mothers. So let me give you an example. Mothers are definitely going to introduce their daughters to makeup. Mothers are definitely going to introduce their daughters to lingerie. Mothers are definitely going to introduce their daughters to all those female shops that they believe help build their daughters' self-esteem. So as fathers of girls, we're already at a disadvantage. I talk about this in my book, Daddy's Girls. A lot of mothers purposely undermine the fathers when it comes to building the self-esteem of their daughters. It's not cool, but it's something that we're going to have to deal with, fathers. Our daughters' mothers have a totally different view and a totally different way of helping shape our daughters' self-esteem. A lot of women, when you try to talk to them about our daughters' self-esteem, the mothers of our daughters, they think that they know everything. A lot of times you can't tell them nothing because they think just because they're women that they know everything about their daughters and that it's not a man's place to participate or be a part of the self-esteem building. And that's just a flat out lie. We are just as important, fathers, in building our daughters' self-esteem. Because as our daughters get older and they become young teens, and when they get to high school and they start dating little boys, they're going to be coming to their fathers. And the reason they're going to be coming to their fathers is because more than likely, our daughters' hearts are going to be broken. So when we talk about our daughters' self-esteem, fathers, we have to make sure that we are on point, and we have to make sure that we are not introducing our daughters to anything that's going to make them challenge us as their dads. We want to make sure when it comes to their self-esteem that they're always dressing appropriately, that they're not wearing short shorts or Daisy Duke shorts, that they're not showing a bunch of cleavage, that they're dressed appropriately going to school and returning home from school appropriately. A lot of times, fathers, the battles that we're going to have with the mothers of our daughters when it comes to their self-esteem is going to be regarding clothing, and it's going to be regarding other types of feminine or girl things that the mothers feel they have a right to teach our daughters. So, fathers, it's going to happen. It's going to be a situation for a lot of fathers. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a situation for a lot of fathers where they may not want to say anything to the mothers. But fathers, I want to tell you, you cannot allow the mothers of our daughters to have the final say when it comes to their self-esteem. That is a big mistake, fathers, because if we allow that to happen, a lot of these mothers are going to ruin our daughters. They are. Our daughters look up to their mothers for a lot of things. Okay? And because their mothers are going to be introducing them to these things that are female related, like I said, we're at a huge disadvantage, fathers. So what we have to do when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem, fathers, is we have to teach our daughters to love themselves on the inside. Not the beauty of the outside, but the beauty of the inside. So what that's going to require us to do, for instance, with my 4 adult daughters, I never allowed them to do baby pageants or pageants at all when it came to their beauty. I never allowed that, because what I didn't want my daughters to do is get the misinformation that it's okay to be judged by how you look. And I didn't want my daughters to think that it was perfectly okay to use their looks to their advantage. And that's where a lot of mothers make mistakes with their daughters, is because a lot of mothers are going to try their best to live their lives through our daughters. That's what a lot of mothers do. Okay? When they have baby girls, they want to put them in baby pageants. They want to put them in beauty pageants. And I'm telling you, fathers, don't allow it to happen. Okay? Because if you want to hurt our daughters' self-esteem, put them in beauty pageants. And as they get older, you're going to see a lot of our daughters will end up spoiled and having bad attitudes and having bad behaviors, because they're going to try to use their looks to their advantage because of what their mothers are saying. Now, I'm not here to bash moms. I'm just here to keep it real. That's what a lot of mothers do. As a matter of fact, that's what most mothers do, is they live through their daughters. There's going to be a time where our daughters are going to clash with their mothers. It happens in every family. My daughters clashed with their mother. They did. It's going to happen. And what we have to do, fathers, is we have to make sure we remain neutral and not get pulled into that. Because if we get pulled into the daughter-mother clashes, they're both going to turn on us. I can promise you that. And then we're going to be the bad guys, regardless. That's just how it works, fathers. Our daughters will always side with their mothers. If they want to get their way, and if they want things their way, they're going to side with their mothers, right? So self-esteem, fathers, we are going to play a great role in that. We're going to have a great say in our daughter's self-esteem. We want to make sure that we nurture our daughter's self-esteem. We want to make sure that we are validating our daughter's self-esteem. We want to make sure that our daughters are able to come to us as their fathers regarding their self-esteem, right? And fathers, you're going to have to be paying attention. Birth to 10 years of age, you got to be paying attention to our daughters. 11 to 13, we definitely got to be paying attention. And then 14 to 18, once they get to high school, right? We got to pay attention to their moods, fathers. We have to pay attention to their behaviors, that they're not changing, right? A lot of our daughters are going to base their self-esteem on how they feel. That's what our daughters are going to do, fathers. They're going to be basing their self-esteem on their peer group, who their friends are, who the popular girls are, who the mean girls are. You know, I've already talked about mean girls in a video when they get to middle school. Their self-esteem will be challenged in middle school because some of these little girls that are mean girls, they become mean girls because of their mothers. And our daughters are going to have to deal with that, fathers. So it's important for us as their fathers to be aware of how they're feeling and to validate how they're feeling, right? The one-on-one time that we're going to be spending with our daughters, it's critical, fathers, and it's necessary, okay? We have to make sure, dads, that we are so in tune with our daughters. We have to be aware of where they're going, how they're moving, who they're hanging out with. If our daughters all of a sudden switch friends, that's a sign, fathers, that their self-esteem is being affected. Okay? One of the things I learned being a state juvenile probation officer and working in the criminal justice system for 20 years, as well as K-12 education for 10 years, is our daughters will be tested. Okay? They're going to be challenged. They're going to feel a lot of peer pressure from their friends because our daughters, they don't come from the same environment as a lot of these girls. Our families are raised different. There's different cultural differences, right? And we have to be aware of exactly who our daughters are interacting with. Because a lot of these little girls, they pretty much are raising themselves. Some of these little girls, they don't have any parental guidance. A lot of these little girls, they don't have their fathers in their lives. They may not have any uncles that could guide them. They may not have any men, period, that are looking out for their best interest. And that's a problem. Because if we're not paying attention, fathers, our little girls could be caught up in that. And that will not turn out good for us. So, fathers, when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem, we have to pay attention to what is going on with our baby girls. We have to be aware of how they're feeling. A lot of our daughters' self-esteem is going to be very, very delicate. A lot of our daughters' self-esteem, they're going to hold a lot of their feelings in. They may not want to express a lot of times. They suppress their feelings. A lot of girls suppress their feelings. A lot of our daughters will suppress their feelings. So, fathers, we have to ensure the relationship that we have built with our daughters is built on trust, respect, and honesty, so that they know they can always come to their fathers for anything. Self-esteem. Very, very critical, fathers, for our daughters. It will be the difference between them wanting to go to school a lot of times and not wanting to go to school. It will be the difference between them graduating from high school or not graduating from high school. It will be the difference between them ending up on the pole or not ending up on the pole. It will be the difference between them feeling fatherless or not feeling fatherless. All of those things I just discussed and mentioned are all based on our daughter's self-esteem, fathers. And I am telling you, our daughter's self-esteem is going to be challenged, right? So fathers, as long as we're available to our daughters, and as long as we have a great relationship with our baby girls, we never have to worry about anything. But it's going to take a lot of work on our part to ensure that our daughters are always feeling protected and safe, and that they always know that they can come to us for any and everything. A lot of fathers, as our daughters' bodies are changing and they're developing through the different stages of their development, we cannot fall back. We cannot pretend that it's not going to happen. Because if we do, we're going to pay. And our daughters will make us pay, fathers. So fathers of daughters, grow dads, our daughters' self-esteem, we have to be a part of their success when it comes to their self-esteem. We have to give them a realistic view of the real world, because we know that little boys are going to be coming for them and coming at them. We know these little heathen boys are going to be lying to our daughters and telling them anything to have sex with them and do whatever they want with them. And this is why it is the father's responsibility to have these early discussions with our daughters before the age of 10, past the age of 10, all the way from birth to 18, to get them through high school, to let them know what's coming their way. Fathers, if we don't do that, we are setting our daughters up to fail. We are. So fathers, I want to commend you for putting in that work with your daughters. Because when we have daughters, there are no books written for us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are books that are out there, but there ain't no books written for us on how to raise these baby girls. We got to jump in and we got to figure this thing out, fathers. Okay? And for most fathers, dealing with our daughter's self-esteem is going to be a new experience for most of us, and it's going to be very, very challenging for the majority of us. But we got to hang in there, fathers. We got to put in that work from birth to 18. We got to be part of our daughter's success from birth to 18. Otherwise, as they become adult women, they may not want us a part of their lives. Okay, fathers. This is going to be my very last live stream until January of 2024. The reason it's going to be my last live stream is because this is my 19th live stream. I have 19 videos I've been doing for live streaming since July of 2023. So I'm going to take a couple months and reflect on these 19 videos that I've made. I believe the videos that I've made for girl dads can help you become better fathers and help you understand our sense of urgency for our baby girls. So fathers, I want to thank you for being part of Girl Dad YouTube channel. When I come back in January of 2024. I'm going to look at some things different. I think I'm going to change the format. I think I'm going to go to a format of more of a question and answered. Bring guests on my show, on my platform rather, not on my show, and really go a little bit deeper. My book, Daddy's Girls, is available on Amazon.com. Feel free, fathers, to purchase my book. Reading my book will help you. And you can also use my videos along with my book because they're visual aids. We're visual human beings. I've enjoyed the live streams. They've been very, very interesting for me, and I've learned a lot by doing them. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from doing live streaming, and when I come back in 2024, I'm looking forward to working with more girl dads than ever before, continuing to build capacity for my Girl Dad YouTube channel. So I just want to thank all the fathers out there from all ethnic groups, from all cultures. You are always welcome to Girl Dad YouTube channel. God bless you and continue to grind. All right, I'm out until 2024, fathers of daughters, girl dads. Peace out.
Okay, fathers. So that was the first video that I did on our daughter's self-esteem. And I just wanted to recap that because, like I said, it was under 30 minutes long. Excuse me. Coughing. It was under 30 minutes long. So just wanted to recap it, give you fathers understanding of exactly how it leads into today's live stream and part two. So that's what it was, fathers. Just wanted to share that with you. And actually, all my live streams are available, and they're videos as well. So yes, fathers, that's what it is. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear your comments. What are your thoughts? What are your concerns? How do we address the self-esteem of our daughters, fathers? Because we're going to have to be successful with that. Because if we don't, our daughter's going to struggle, and they're not going to be doing too good when they have their emotional lows. Let me tell you, when they have their emotional highs, they'll be good. But when they have their emotional lows, though, and if their self-esteem is low, they don't make the best decisions. They can find themselves in situations that they can't get out of. And it's always an ongoing discussion when it comes to our daughter's self-esteem, fathers. So that's what we have to do as dads. We have to make sure that we are always available to them. And the biggest thing is with validation. You will learn that, fathers. Validating our daughters will go a lot further than anything that we provide them in material possessions. Validation, validation, validation. I'm going to press that because I know raising 4 adult daughters, it was all about validation. So, okay, fathers, let's get into this second video, okay? Let me get it ready. Okay, fathers, this is video number 2. Okay, let me see. Hold on.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How do I want to sit? This.
Water there. You need a drink.
I don't want to ruin the lipstick.
Oh, yeah.
Social media can be good, but it can be bad as well. In terms of her building her confidence, it can build her confidence.
Marjorie's just trying to find herself now. You know, she's not.
I'm sorry. Give me a second, fathers. I'm trying to make it a full screen, and it's not allowing me to do that. You know, technology is technology. So let me restart this. I apologize, but I want to use the full screen. There we go. Okay, fathers of daughters, this is video number 2.
Make yourself comfortable. Welcome.
Thank you.
How do I want to sit? This.
Water there. You need a drink.
I don't want to ruin the lipstick.
Oh, yeah.
Social media can be good, but it can be bad as well. In terms of her building her confidence, it can build her confidence.
Marjorie's just trying to find herself now. You know, she's not influenced by social media yet.
Most of the influencers that I've seen have definitely had a positive impact on me.
Hey, guys. Here's a beauty hack I'm obsessed with.
I am so happy.
Look at how cinched my waist is. Look at how flat my stomach is.
It's the shortcut to flawless skin.
You know that Botox doesn't just reduce wrinkles, right? Baby Botox is amazing. You're never too young to start.
That is not me.
There are these great powders. They stop you feeling hungry so you can always skip breakfast and lunch.
And you have to treat yourself to a chemical peel. They're a total glow up. They burn away the top layers of your skin and let new skin grow through.
Hey, Mojo. If your teeth are uneven, you can always file them down with a nail file. It's literally so simple.
File your teeth.
Don't put up with your thin lips, sweetie. Lip filler kits let you inject yourself at home. They're my total go-to.
Fake eyelashes are so easy to glue on. If you cut your eyelashes off,
There's some really great pills you can use.
Keep telling yourself you're not hungry, you're just thirsty.
Never look bloated again.
We'll get into your skin.
Sexiest lashes in
Botox.
Remember, skinny is never finished.
Oh.
It's
Have you actually seen stuff like that?
yeah. What? This stuff is on every girl's feed. They're watching, right? I mean, at night when I can't see them.
It's scary to me that my kids are watching this and they think that's how they have to look.
I saw one of the teeth filing videos. I remember that one. I remember seeing that all over. I know this stuff. I can't prevent them from seeing these, but I can talk to them about it.
100% always be talking. And have Peyton know that she can always ask me anything.
My mom has taught me not to listen to people like that and to be proud of who I am.
Okay, fathers, what are your thoughts on that video? Pretty powerful. This is what our daughters hear every day. Now, it's interesting how when you reflect, when women are talking about themselves, and this is what their daughters hear. right? And this is why it's important for fathers to be a part of our daughters' lives, because they're going to hear it from their mothers. They're going to hear it from other women. Being on social media platforms, our daughters are catching straight hell. They are. And today with Gen Alpha daughters, because they're teenagers this year, Gen Alpha girls, Gen Alpha boys were born 2010 to 2024. So we're talking about Gen Alpha girls. That's what we're talking about. Gen Z girls are getting ready to graduate from high school. So they're 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got two millennial daughters and I've got two Gen Z daughters. And let me tell you, I had to put in a lot of work, fathers. It was changing, forever changing. My daughters did not get the tail end of social media and social media platforms. Yes, it was prevalent and it was relevant, but not like it is today. So I was able to keep them off of Snapchat and all these other apps in the primary grades and middle school grades. My daughters didn't get on Snapchat until they actually got to high school. And back then, Snapchat was for fun, but it wasn't like Instagram or TikTok. So yes, fathers, that was a very powerful video. It's called Toxic Influence. All videos are in the description. So every video I'm sharing with you today is in the description. So you could also follow up and watch it. But I want to share that first one because that's very, very powerful, fathers. This is what our daughters are exposed to every day on social media, in their little group chats, in their little group rooms. And this is what they're discussing. This is what they're having conversations about every day and how they're comparing themselves to other girls. It's crazy. Social media is on every continent. So there's no way around it. We just have to make sure as fathers that we're validating our daughters to love themselves on the inside and show them what that looks like. Okay, fathers? All right. This next video is I'm going to be sharing is little girls ages 5 to 18 talking about beauty standards and what they think. Came across it when I do my research. I come across so much stuff, and it's just interesting. I try to narrow down my live streams to about 5 to 10 videos a week. And I'm a researcher by nature. I'm a legal researcher because of my professional background. I enjoy research and I can't get enough of it. So it's fun for me that I have visual aids now. Whereas as a legal researcher, all I did is I went to and I researched case law. So it's nice to be able to have visual aids when I'm doing research, and I watch all the videos several times before I decide what I'm going to present to fathers of daughters. Okay, girl dads. All right, fathers, let me get this next video set up. Video number 3.
Ideas on
Okay, fathers, here is video number 3.
I'd say that the mirror doesn't lie, but it lies about what's in your heart. Beauty is something that people like that is beautiful. Bows are beautiful. Dolphins are beautiful. My mom's beautiful. My heart is beautiful. I find my whole body beautiful.
Spending hours.
There's my mom and dad's DNA in my body, and it makes each part of me special. There's beauty all around us. The garbage can, the old pipe in your mom's house, and plain white floors, especially when it shines.
What makes a person beautiful is
their personality. Everybody has a personality and everybody's beautiful, but in a different way than other people. Well, you kind of have to be confident in yourself to feel like you're beautiful. Otherwise, if you don't really have confidence, that thought that you are beautiful kind of fades away. So it's kind of your job to bring it back. Well, my friend has freckles, and she's like a ton of freckles, and they're super pretty on her. And like, I personally wish I had freckles. And she'll like cover them up, and that just shows that people have different ideas on certain things. Like, she doesn't like her freckles when I think they look great on her and they're pretty.
Being beautiful is learning all the lessons in life, and then you go from here to here and you start to blossom.
I think the stereotypical version of beauty is a tall girl with long blonde hair and blue eyes. Like, that's what most people think of when they think of pretty. I think it's because that's what's on most magazines or commercials. I think it makes them feel as if they weren't blonde or they weren't tall or they weren't skinny, then they're not beautiful, and that's not true. And people should know that.
Sometimes I think, oh, am I too this? Am I not as pretty as this person? Or is my face to this? Or like, are my cheeks too round? Or things like that. I just think, I don't care what anybody thinks. And sometimes I like to tell myself they're just jealous, even though maybe they're not. Maybe they're just saying that because they're mean. But I kind of just remind myself that I'm beautiful no matter what, and it doesn't matter what I look like or what anyone else has. I'm just gonna be me.
It used to be you always had to be skinny, probably fairer skin, but now I think it's really been more accepting of the different bodies, all the different types of beauty there are. I like my eyebrows. They like kind of fan out and they like do some weird thing over my eye, but I kind of love them.
When I look in the mirror, I find my eyes to be the most beautiful. They're hidden behind the glasses most of the time, but I like them, yeah. I have friends, all different sizes and heights and body shapes and skin colors and everything, and none of us look the same, yet there's this one beauty ideal that we're all meant to fit. And being teenagers, it's really hard to sort of see past that. My school is a predominantly white school. There was very much a one-shot picture of beauty, and so I straightened my hair probably every other week or so. I started watching a lot of YouTube videos of other natural girls, just seeing those other people embracing their hair and really loving themselves for who they were. Really inspired me. By wearing my hair natural, I've really embraced who I am.
If you feel beautiful, I really think that that should be enough in the world, but unfortunately it isn't. No matter what, you're never skinny enough. No matter what, you're never this enough. I highlight my hair because I want to be blonder, because that's a beauty construct we have. They could be making movies with women that don't look like the standard, but they do. Almost every single famous movie star is tall and skinny. Not necessarily blonde, but definitely tall and skinny.
When I was younger, middle school age, I struggled a lot with body image. I had pretty bad acne. I was slim at the time. I was pretty skinny, but I thought I was fat. And I realized that that's life. It's normal, it's fine, there's nothing wrong. And I've learned to be happy with myself.
Everyone is unique and everyone was not born the same, and we weren't meant to be the same. And that's what makes us beautiful.
To those of you that think you're not beautiful, that's not true, because you are.
You are beautiful.
You are beautiful in your own way.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful just the way you are. And nothing can define you.
You are beautiful.
You are beautiful.
Beautiful is knowing your worth and then knowing that however you look is going to be okay.
I am beautiful. I'm beautiful.
I'm beautiful.
I have my own natural beauty.
I'm beautiful as I am.
Okay, fathers, what are your thoughts? Just needed to share that video because it's coming, fathers. I've been through every stage of development with my daughters, and let me tell you, it's coming. what I really appreciated about that video when I was doing my research was just seeing the innocence of our baby girls in all the different stages of development, 5 to 18. It goes by fast, fathers. So we have to be instrumental in helping build their self-esteem. We do. Because if you left it up to women, a lot of our daughters would be scarred permanently. Women are very critical of each other. Very, 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 they could be mean-spirited of each other. It's a competition with women. It's part of their DNA, fathers. So you're going to bear witness to that. And a lot of times you're going to find yourself struggling. It's a situation, fathers, where it's not going to be comfortable for us at all. It is not going to be comfortable for us as their fathers. So we got to put in that work. We have to put in that work, birth to 18. The first 10 years are the most critical. I talk about that in my book, Daddy's Girls. And shaping their self-esteem is going to be pivotal in a lot of their decision making, positive and negative. So this is what I'm sharing with you, fathers. I'm trying to prepare you for what's coming, because it's coming. And you can't check out on your daughters when it comes. You have to be as prepared as you can, have as much information and resources as you can. And you have to jump in. Don't be scared, fathers, because our daughters will make us better as men, as fathers. And we got to put in that work, though, because their self-esteem will be challenged and it's going to be tested. So how we react, fathers, and provide protection and safety when it comes to their self-esteem, that's going to fall on us. So we got to figure this thing out. Okay, fathers. Got another video for you, okay? I got a few more to share with you, and then we'll wrap up this live stream. So let's get to this next video, fathers. Let me get it ready.
In the pandemic.
Okay, fathers. So the next video I'm going to share is going to be talking about eating disorders. And our daughters are part of the self-esteem, fathers, if they're not feeling good about themselves. I remember my daughter Jasmine in 6th grade, just getting to middle school. I remember she came home one day and we were having a discussion, and she was talking about she had been in middle school probably about 2 months. So it was right, 3 months. I would say it was right before Thanksgiving. And we were having this discussion. She was explaining to me how she has friends in 6th grade that were dieting. And I was like, well, what does that mean, Jasmine? This is my 30-year-old, my second oldest daughter. It's like, yeah, Dad, they're dieting. They eat cheese and crackers, and they just drink water. They don't have the 4 basic food groups that you grew us up on. They don't eat meat. And so we got into a really deep discussion. I explained to Jasmine what dieting is and how that affects a child's mental health and their mental being and their physical health. So I explained to her, you cannot not be eating food. And she said, oh, no, Dad, I would never do that. It's just interesting, though, how these girls are doing it. And I said, well, how does it affect you? And, we got into a real deep conversation. So like I said, fathers, I was instrumental in my daughter's life. So I knew what was going on with them. I paid attention. We got to pay attention, fathers. So, but it is real interesting. 6th grade, I'll never forget that. That was crazy to me. But got to be ready for it, fathers. Okay. Here's the next video, fathers. Eating disorders.
Spending hours on social media was something many teens did to stay connected during the pandemic. But did countless images of models and influencers filling some feeds contribute to a new surge in eating disorders? Ginger Z has the second installment of our mental health series, State of Mind.
I just realized that there's so much to live for in life. I've thought to myself so many times that I'm not going to sit on my deathbed wishing that I looked skinnier as a 20-year-old.
For 20-year-old Lucy Saya, anything related to food used to fill her with dread.
I see a picture of myself online or in the mirror that I don't like. I panic. And the way that I knew to take care of that was through food or through exercise.
But now, prepping dinner at her family's home in Dallas, it's a sign that she's come a long way.
You can find an article or something online that is saying every single food is bad. Carbs are bad, sugars are bad. I was just starting to cut them out until I had very minimal food groups left in my diet.
For years, Lucy suffered from a severe eating disorder, a health crisis that forced her to take a year off of college and threatened to tear her family apart.
I got it. My relationship with my parents, my family definitely took a turn throughout my disorder. You know, they were trying to save my life and I was trying to do the opposite.
We tried to coax her into eating and there was no coaxing that was working. She started running a lot and then pretty quickly we got the feeling that something was off.
How do you describe it?
I was depressed. I was anxious. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to continue to live anymore. The way that I dealt with that was and tried to make myself feel better was by manipulating the way that I consumed food. Exercise was definitely a big part of my initial struggle. So I was running outside every chance that I get or hiding from my family and doing workouts in my room.
Lucy's battle with anorexia started during the COVID-19 lockdown when she says she had too much time on her hands. What do you think your social media usage went through in the pandemic?
I would say like I was on my phone anywhere from 5 to 6 hours a day, like scrolling through Instagram, looking on Snapchat, watching TikToks was a huge thing and definitely a big trigger for my anorexia. A lot of people have pages where they post what I eat in a day videos or diet culture related things.
While social media may have had positive effects for some during COVID lockdown, for Lucy, seemingly perfect influencers and models overtaking her feed became toxic.
We know in the pandemic, social isolation increased significantly. We know that kids are spending an average of 7 hours on their phone every single day, getting, these harmful images thrown at them from algorithms.
Lucy is part of a sometimes hidden mental health epidemic that does not discriminate and manifests in people of all sizes.
There's a lot of stigma around this being a white rich girl vanity issue, which could not be further from the truth. The majority of people with eating disorders are not underweight. You can't tell just by looking at them. These illnesses are highly comorbid with anxiety, with depression, with PTSD, with OCD.
According to the National Eating Disorders Association, nearly 30 million Americans will have an eating disorder in their lifetime. A third of the cases, that's 10 million, are men. The pandemic made the crisis worse. The White House just last year acknowledging national eating disorder hotlines have seen a more than 70% spike in calls for help just days ago. The American Psychological Association put out a warning for parents of kids aged 10 to 14 to monitor their social media and recommend that adolescents limit their viewing of, quote, beauty or appearance-related content that researchers suggest is linked to disordered eating.
I think there are a lot of non-conscious thoughts that folks don't even realize how much this is impacting them when they're mindlessly scrolling. I'm not good enough. I don't look like that. Therefore, something must be wrong with me.
In 2021, members of Congress also sounding the alarm, grilling executives of Instagram and Facebook about how their platforms may harm kids' mental health.
Facebook knows the destructive consequences that Instagram's design and algorithms are having on our young people and our society.
At Facebook, we take the privacy, safety, and well-being of all those who use our platform very seriously, especially the youngest people on our services.
On what has come.
There was no TikTok or Instagram when I fought my own battle with anorexia more than 25 years ago.
I was confused. I was scared. I felt chaotic. I felt like I had no control over my life. And so controlling food was the first place I went to.
I started restricting food at age 10.
You cannot stop yourself from going to the extremes on all of these, and it keeps getting worse. And I just kept consuming less and thinking that was better and better.
Even without swipes and likes, my anorexia was persistent, painful, and dangerous for nearly a decade. Emily Batnagar's battle with eating disorders also goes back to elementary school.
I remember like the day before my 5th grade promotion ceremony, I was like looking at myself in the mirror and I was like dangerously underweight then. And I was like, no, I need to exercise. And I think it just like went along with that thought that like food is gross and not like necessary for survival.
Her health going from bad to worse after her dad was diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer 4 years ago.
I would have a cup of fruit and maybe some water, and anything else would make me feel so nauseous. So it really started to spiral into something bigger, and it was anorexia. I would notice like physical symptoms, like I would get up and immediately get dizzy, or my fingernails would turn blue, makes your hair fall out.
Today, Emily's health is a work in progress, but she's finding purpose in her passion, collecting books for charity.
I just sort of used it as an outlet. I was like, okay, I need to focus my energy into something else. I think the book drive actually like helped me more than anything else. Up to now, I have donated 15,000 books to children's hospitals, and yeah, it's become like my own little business and I love it so much.
Although young women are more commonly diagnosed with eating disorders, LGBTQ plus teens are at an even higher risk than their peers.
Hello, my name is Elliot Schneider. I identify as a queer, non-binary person.
Schneider, a 15-year-old from Austin, Texas, is now speaking out to make sure the trans community is included in the conversation.
As my eating disorder developed, I began throwing up after meals as a way to try to control my weight, because eating disorder is a lot about control. Part of it was just my entire feed consisted of just really skinny people who were beautiful, and I would think, why can't I look like them? Like, will people ever find me attractive if I don't look like them?
Today, Elliot's message is a simple one.
Skinny does not equal pretty, and everyone's body is beautiful.
Tell me about the day that you said, Lucy, we need to make a change here.
Yeah, it was an emotional day. You know, we had been talking to a lot of professionals about what was the best next step, and we finally decided she needed to go to a higher level of care.
Lucy has spent time in 7 different treatment programs, and she found real help through a team of specialists.
A lot of people don't have the privilege of getting this kind of help. And eating disorders are pervasive through every socioeconomic, every race, everything.
Yeah, I want to be able to give back to those who haven't had the treatment opportunities that I have.
If you live in a more rural community, if you are a member of a marginalized group, if you are low income, recovery and finding access to treatment is going to be a tremendous amount harder. There are some states with literally no eating disorder providers.
Lucy is entering a new chapter, one that she says includes a lot of therapy and regular visits with her dietitian.
How you feeling today? I'm okay. I had a pretty good week.
She's also ditching her old ways on social media.
I think it's really important for those that are struggling to filter their social media pages in a way that's comfortable for them.
Do you limit your social media by like putting a cap on it on your phone now?
I had to re-go through and click like not interested and like unlike a lot of the videos that were diet culture, food related, and now I no longer see them on my For You page.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
Okay, fathers, needed to share that video and show that video with you. One of the things I did with my daughters when they were little girls, when their mother and I prepared their food, I grilled a lot. I'm a griller. I love to grill. So I always grilled their food. Birthday 18, and I made my daughters lunches from the time that they entered kindergarten to they got to high school. And the reason I did that is because of what I learned as a probation officer, as well as working in K-12 education, is that so many kids are hungry. And it's not always because they don't have food. A lot of kids are hungry because they're not eating properly meals. So I made sure, in order for my conscience and my mind to be good, as far as making sure my daughters were nutritional efficient and not nutritional deficient, was I packed their lunches every day. I made their lunches every morning. Spent a lot of time at Costco. And I made sure my daughters, they had the 4 basic food groups. We didn't do a lot of junk in our household. We just didn't. And my daughters to this day, they're like, Dad, we're happy that we were introduced to the 4 food groups as children. By the time they got to high school, they had their own accounts, and I put money in their accounts. All of my daughters received $50 a week when they got to high school to purchase their meals because it was easier. And I stopped making their meals for them, their lunches rather for them. But we always have plenty of food. And I can tell you, working in K-12 education, being a dean of students, a teacher, and restorative justice coordinator. As a dean, we kept lockers in our offices of food because a lot of kids are not eating. A lot of our daughters are not eating, and they are starving themselves, and they are becoming anorexic. And it's real, fathers. See, this is why we have to be paying attention. My daughters have always had great appetites. I made sure of that because I fed them. I had a daughter, my daughter Zuri. She was a picky eater. Zuri she ate vegetables. She didn't start eating meat. She wasn't comfortable with eating meat until she got to middle school. So we never forced her, but her pediatrician, she was a healthy little girl. She was actually my biggest daughter. Born-wise, she was almost a 10-pound baby. She was big. She was real big. So she was a picky eater. So she ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly, a lot of fruits and vegetables. She would every once in a while try fish, but she didn't like the texture of meat. She just didn't. So I knew that. And you have to make adjustments, fathers. I just, in my head, feeding them myself, packing their lunches for them until they got to high school, that was huge for me. That helped my space out in my head because I knew they were eating correctly. And I knew they weren't going to be eating a bunch of junk. Whatever I fixed for my daughters, they ate. My girls got great appetites, let me tell you. To this day, they grub. So fathers, we have to be paying attention because these little girls are great at hiding their disorders. And if we're checked out and not paying attention, fathers, it's going to be a shock to our system when we do find out. Okay, so I'm trying to prepare you and help you understand our sense of urgency, fathers. That's why I wrote my book, Daddy's Girls. Like I said, I believe I have the blueprint to help fathers understand our sense of urgency. Because we're as a father of daughters, as a girl dad, it's coming from all angles with us. And We just have to have as much information as we can. And like I said, I love YouTube because there's no reason today's fathers should not be in the forefront when it comes to education, information, through instruction. No reason at all. You have no excuses anymore, fathers. You have access to the research. You have access to the studies. You have access to the world that I didn't have access to raising my daughters. So take advantage of it, fathers. Information's there. And you have to be disciplined enough and committed enough to do it. Okay. Got 2 more videos, fathers, and then we're going to wrap up this live stream. Let me get this next video set up. Okay, fathers, this next video is going to be talking about our daughter's body image. This is part of their self-esteem, fathers. So, like I said, our little daughters, they're going to be going through.
Welcome back. It's really tough to be.
When they hit puberty, I've already done a video on embracing our daughter's puberty. I don't have it in the description, but I'm not sure what video number it is, but embracing our daughter's puberty, fathers. Look that video up and I'll watch that video as well. Please watch all my live streams. All my videos, watch all of them because they will help you understand our sense of urgency, fathers. That's what I'm here for, okay? All right, let's get busy with this next video, fathers.
Welcome back. It's really tough to be a teenager, but one local school is doing their part to help. Sun Lake High School recently held a health and wellness seminar to help girls with their mental well-being, talking about self-esteem, body image, even peer pressure. As I found out, the school's basketball coach has even gone a step further, starting the Pink Ladies Club, so her players and other students could have a safe place to talk about these sensitive topics.
What's up with 9th graders, man?
At Sun Lake High School, a child psychologist, a basketball coach, and a high school senior talked to a group of girls about their mental well-being for this health and wellness seminar.
We started the Pink Ladies Club as a way to reach girls off the court.
Basketball coach Risa Hendricks Pledge started the Pink Ladies Club in 2016 after seeing how low self-esteem was impacting her players and students.
It's a group of girls who maybe athletes, maybe friends of the athletes, maybe friends of our team, but they can get together and talk, share challenges, share solutions, share skills for how we can be better ladies every day.
The seminar is very interactive, so the girls could share what they were personally going through.
I can say that managing school and personal life and basketball is definitely not easy.
11th grader Jalissa Anderson says she even deleted social media because of how it affects her mental health.
I did it more because I wanted to focus on myself and basketball, and I noticed that I was comparing myself to other people, like either going through relationships or friendships or whatever it is, like you tend to compare yourself. And yeah, like I guess deleting my social media helped me not do that. I'm worried about pleasing people.
7th grader Aaliyah Halprin says she too gets caught up in social media posts.
People are together, like friends are together, and then I'm not there, and then they post on social media, then that could be like, it makes me feel left out sometimes.
I'm not as good as her. Oh, I don't look as good as her in my jersey, like other things like that.
Basketball player Catherine Carey helped put on the seminar after going through body image issues herself, but she's worked hard on her self-esteem and is now paying it forward.
I use all that I've learned, and I help my new incoming freshmen, because I'm the senior now, I'm the team captain. I take that and I teach the new freshmen, like incoming freshmen, that mentality instead of what I had to go through.
And after taking the seminar, these girls feel more empowered.
Finding the right people to surround yourself with, and just like being able to find people that you're allowed to like talk to and like they support you.
I'm not going to be a person that these people want me to be, and I'm going to be like strong and I know what I'm capable of.
And Coach Pledge hopes the girls walk away with one important goal.
Women supporting each other is definitely a skill and definitely a foundation that they should want to inspire and move forward. Because encouraging one another and inspiring one another is going to bridge more light in the world. And the more that we can do that, the more we're facilitating and exponentially growing good things in the world.
And if you're having a mental health crisis, you can always call 211 to reach the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay. You can also call 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They answer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also text and chat online with a trained crisis counselor who can help anyone experiencing a mental health crisis, feeling suicidal, or really any other kind of emotional distress. Just pick up the phone. All right, time now for another check of your forecast. Meteorologist Jason Adams.
Okay, fathers, another excellent video talking about our daughter's self-esteem. What I appreciate about that video is you saw non-athletes and athletes talking about their self-esteem. And it's going to affect all of our daughters, whether they're athletes or not. And we got to pay attention, fathers. Bottom line, we have to know our daughters so well that if we notice anything wrong, we can have those discussions with our baby girls. That's how well you got to know them. And that's where the relationship has to be at with our daughters. You can't be disconnected, because if we're disconnected, fathers, we are going to be on the outside of the relationship, and they may not allow us on the inside. Real talk. Okay, so another excellent video, fathers. And you know, our daughters are pretty forthright. They're brutally honest as they get older, and they communicate very well as long as the relationship is there and there's no disconnect with their fathers. The relationship with my daughters was amazing birth to 18. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the exact same way. So we have a great opportunity here, fathers, when it comes to our daughter's self-esteem. We have to be a part of their success. We have to be. Because if not, they're gonna isolate us and shut us out, shut us down. That's just what they're going to do. So, okay, fathers, I have one more video, and then we're going to wrap up this live stream. And I appreciate you, fathers, for participating and being part of Grow That YouTube channel. All right, last video, fathers. Let me get it set up.
And self.
Okay, fathers, this video is called Psychological Distress and Self-Harm in Teens Rising. So, powerful video, fathers. Powerful.
Harm among young people have risen sharply across the country and much of the developed world. And when you look at what teens are dealing with today, well, you can understand why they are struggling. You know, there's climate change, there's the explosion of social media, there's a hangover impact of COVID lockdowns, and that's just to name a few.
Yeah, but the ABC has spoken to some kids who have found resilience, connection, and a sense of purpose, and want others to hear their story.
Yeah, looking back now, it was a very difficult time in my life, I would say, especially being the oldest. I started drinking when I was really young. I would say 12, 13, which is a very bad age because your brain is not even yet developed. I wanted to feel something. I didn't want to feel normal. I didn't want to feel sober. I feel like self-harming came into play when I started becoming more reckless and rebellious against my parents, especially. Yeah, I didn't want to feel this responsibility anymore. I wanted to be a kid, you know? I wanted to be a teenager and have fun and go out. I feel like spiritually getting in touch with my relationship with God really helped me. I really started to appreciate the smaller things around me, just in going outside and not being on my phone too much. One of my hobbies that I do is music. I get to just have time to myself. It's like a therapy session. Find things that you love to do and just stick with them, but make sure it's good stuff. But yeah, like make small changes every single day and you'll see the bigger result at the end. Yeah.
Some wisdom there. Now, Professor Harriet Hiscock is a paediatrician and researcher at the Murdoch Children's Research Institute. She joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us. Professor Hiscock, what happens developmentally when kids turn into teenagers that means that they can sometimes struggle a lot with their mental health?
Yeah, well, there's quite a few things going on, Jo. They actually start to prune out a lot of the connections that they don't need in their brain anymore. And that happens from the back of the brain slowly over the years to the front part of the brain. So what happens is the back of the brain starts to reorganize itself, but that's the emotional part of our brain where we can make decisions without thinking. We're very driven by our emotions. We can become quite aggressive or irritable. And the last thing to develop at the age of 24 years is our prefrontal cortex, which helps us focus and concentrate and plan. So adolescents are really sort of super emotionally charged, but they don't have the handbrake of perhaps making decisions sensibly and stopping and thinking before they might take a risk.
And so when you look at what's going on in the world around us and what might be playing on the minds of our young people, you can understand why, given that the developmental changes they're also going through, that things can start to feel really overwhelming. How important are the pre-teen years in equipping them for those teen years?
Yeah, look, they're absolutely crucial. And I think that's where parents and adults in their life come in, because we can be good role models for them. We can reflect to our preteens, look, I'm really frustrated with X today that happened at work. But instead of going off and berating someone or throwing a chair or something, this is how I handled it and this is what I did. So I think we can try and set up our preteens to understand that adolescence can be a turbulent time, but as we heard from the young person in our story, there's good ways of having an outlet around this, and there's small changes that you can make that build up to big things to try and get you through adolescence in a way that doesn't do any harm to others and doesn't do harm to yourself.
What might be some of those small things?
Well, I think it is recognising as parents that we need to cut our adolescents a little bit of slack. So in addition to their brain changes, one of their jobs, their tasks, is to become an adult and to grow away from us as parents. So we can no longer really dictate what our adolescent young person might do, and their peer group will become more important. But some of the things we can do is make sure we still maintain connections and communication with them. So going for a weekly walk or a drive is a great place to just check in and say, how are you going at school? How are you going with your friendships? Is anyone annoying you? Are you having any difficulties? So checking in is really important. Making sure they get, the boring things, getting enough sleep, which is often a challenge with adolescents, eating pretty well, having some form of exercise, all those sort of good pillars of health that we know about also become really important.
As you say, it's developmentally normal for them to be going through changes at this time and perhaps distancing themselves from their parents. Parents or carers might notice emotional changes going on. Where's the line between that normal change of behaviour and when there really is a problem and you need to seek extra help?
Yeah, it's a great question, Joe, because it can be quite blurred and difficult for families to understand and work out. But there's a couple of things. One is, how long has this been going on for? So if you've got an adolescent or a preteen who seems really low in their mood, they seem flat, and it's going on for 3 weeks or more, that's a warning sign. That's a red flag. And the other thing is, if it's stopping them doing the things that they really used to enjoy, so they no longer want to go and play basketball on the weekends, they no longer want to hang out with their mates, those sorts of things. If they used to enjoy going to school, there's often a drop-off in enjoying going to school when they hit the preteens and teenage years. But if they really stop enjoying it, that's another concern. So it's about how long it's been going on for and the impact of it on things that they normally enjoy doing.
And if you see those warning signs, what then?
Well, I think this is a challenge, isn't it, at the moment, because we would say see your GP, see a psychologist, but the waiting list can be really long. So still get that in motion. Go and see the school counsellor, who's often an excellent resource and knows this age group really well. But there's also some wonderful websites. There's Reach Out Australia, there's Beyond Blue, there's the Raising Children Network website, and they've all got evidence-based resources for young people. Some of them have online chat moderated forums that the young person can go on and start to chat with people just a little bit older than themselves who have been through what they've been through and can really connect with them.
Professor Harriet Hiscock, it's wonderful to have you on Weekend Breakfast this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you need information or support, you can contact Beyond Blue on 1300 224636. Or if you or someone you know is experiencing distress, please contact Lifeline on 13 11 14.
Okay, fathers, another successful live stream. Live stream number 50 for me, fathers. Feeling great about it, feeling good about it. And like I said, all fathers are welcome, regardless of your ethnic group, background, and or culture. I welcome all fathers because our commonality is men is what is going to drive us and take us and help us. All right, fathers. So just had to share Fathers of Daughters, Our Daughters Self-esteem Part 2. And hopefully you fathers will be able to walk away with a better understanding of what our sense of urgency is, fathers, and how we need to be a part of this success when it comes to our daughters' self-esteem, because they cannot do it by themselves, fathers. As I shared all these videos, they're very educational and they're very real. And this is what we do here at Grow Dad YouTube channel, is I will continue to provide solutions. I'm solution-based. I know nothing different than solutions. Excuse me. I'm coughing. Okay, fathers. So until next week's live stream, enjoy them babies. Kiss them babies. Hug them babies. Show them babies you love them. Tell them you love them. Our baby girls need to hear it. They need to be validated. Okay, fathers. So until next week's live stream, adios, mi amigos. I'm out. This is Ephraim B. Martin. I'll holler at you next week. You know the routine. Peace.